Welcome to the Vinny Rock Podcast.
Much more than this, I did it my way.
Boom. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the Vinny Rock Podcast. And my guest today is Mikal Vega. Excuse me. That's a Mikal Vega. That's a buddy of mine from Ranger Battalion. But it reminds me of this guy. It's Mikal Vega. Vega is an actor. He was with me on Mayans MC. And as well as he was a former Navy SEAL. I believe it was, I don't know how many years on the teams, but went from that, and he went through some personal struggles, man. The VA had him addicted to pills for a while. And I would say addicted. They just had him on a lot of them. He realized that wasn't for him, and he started, taking his road to enlightenment, as we like to call it. And he is now doing a lot of spiritual stuff that has been helping him. He runs a nonprofit called Vital Warrior. And I'll let him tell the rest of that story. But before then, we're going to go ahead and talk about the sponsors. First, I want to talk about Aircraft Maintainer. Aircraftmaintainer.com is a veteran-owned business. And what they do is they help get education for veterans who have the MOS, or the job classification of an aircraft mechanic or an aircraft maintenance field. They certify in two different certifications. One's an A&P, it's airframe and power plant, which allows you to work in the civilian as an aircraft mechanic and leverage your military aviation experience in the civilian world. And the other thing they have is the FCC GROL, which is General Radio Operator's License. Those are some of the certifications that they offer. They also do a lot of mentorship for financials, for leadership, all kinds of stuff. And it is a company that, during a lot of the evaluations, people have said it's a company that gives a shit, right? They actually care about their students who are going to be trying to get certified and go out to the civilian world and get paid what they deserve for their skill set. So you guys have any questions, please hit up aircraftmaintainer.com. Aircraftmaintainer.com. They have certified over 3,800 active duty military troop as we speak. I promise you, this is not a fucking gimmick. If you're active duty, it is a free course. If you're not active duty, there is a program where they can get you reimbursed fully, and it'll be free, fucking free. Gosh dang it. So hit them up, aircraftmaintainer.com. Bing, bang, boom. Beyond Clothing. I'm excited to get some Beyond Clothing gear coming in here soon. I'm hoping to do a photo shoot with them soon. When we get back to Utah, the weather's going to be nice for some snow pictures. I'm going to look like a badass in a snow bunny. Sorry, that made me laugh. You guys go check out beyondclothing.com. Fucking badasses, and you already know it. I've told you enough about them. Core Medical Group. If you guys are struggling with your testosterone, if you don't know you have testosterone issues, you can go get tested. Go check out Core Medical Group. I don't have to say it. You already know. Hit them up. They'll send it anywhere directly to you in the United States, to your fucking doorstep. But they'll only send it to you if you need it. So go get your hormones tested, check your blood. Most of you guys are in the military will have fucked up blood. So check out Core Medical Group. Tons of people are using this. I know it probably sounds scary. This is not steroids. This is testosterone, something that is natural in your system and your fucking hormones. You need to get them fixed. We all do. Check them. Make sure you're right. Go hit up Core Medical Group. Let them know that fucking Rocco sent you. Boom. GMR Gold, they have the Bullion Box subscription, right? And there's different levels of that. You can do 100, you can do 200, you can do 300, you can just whatever. They have it on there. You find out which one works for you, all right? And when you do that, you can use the promo code ROCCO, and that's going to help you get a discount, but not even that. That's going to show that we're sending fools over there to pick up their subscriptions, because collecting gold and precious metals is fucking cool, goddammit. It's cool. Why is that? Because it is. It's smart. It's where your money can go, and it's secured. For the most part, that is like one of the most secure fucking investments you're ever going to make. It's easy as this. You choose a plan. They hand pick a box for you. You check your mail. Boom, there it is. Fucking Bullion Box. Check it out. We love them over at the Vargas residence. Obviously, we have a new baby too. We'll talk about that in another podcast. I'll do a one-on-one. But go check out bullionboxsubscriptions.com. Use the promo code ROCCO, and you'll fucking love it. Bing, Bang, boom. Beard.com, male grooming products. I own it. That's why I'm going to talk about it because fuck you. Thank you very much for everyone. I hope you guys continue to listen. Don't forget, Willie Peach Chocolate has a dope-ass hot sauce. You guys need to buy it because you're going to love it. And once you love it, you're going to keep buying it. So go on with your bad self. This is a good podcast for those that are searching for the road for enlightenment. Mikal Vega. Check him out. Fucking A. Boom. Yo. What's up? And dude, before I even say your name, look, I had a guy in the radio channel. His name is Mikhail Venikov. We called him Mike Venikov, Mikey, whatever the case. Mm-hmm. Do I pronounce your name the same? Or is it Mikal?
Mikal. Yeah.
Mikal.
Yeah, Mikal.
Well, here you go. Guys, we're on the podcast right now. The Vinny Rock podcast was Mikal Vega. And so funny. I was like, dude, that name is so dope, dude. I think your name is fucking one of those, like you're a Hollywood name, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. You want to hear a funny story about my name?
Let's hear it.
I wasn't born with it. You know that?
I did not know that.
I was actually born Dave Fritch.
Dave Fritch.
Yeah, David Fritch. My dad was well, we'll get into that. But when I was a kid, I was always into creativity and acting, and I was literally a Glee Club kid, dude, growing up, and I was bullied a lot. But my dad, he's a SEAL.
Yeah,
and
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was a plank owner at Dam Neck, actually. So I literally grew up in the SEAL teams, in and around SEALs, their kids, and all these types of things. And it definitely had an impact. But at my core, I was just this creative Glee Club kid, and that's what I did all through junior high and high school. I was bullied a lot, and but then once the angry showed up, I joined the military when I was 17, and I went into EOD.
Wait a minute, 1 second. You said you were bullied? Were you always the fucking size you are now, bro?
No.
Because, dude, you guys were listening. Like, Mikal is not a small dude. What are you have a 6'2", 6'3"?
I'm 6'3" and 225 pounds.
And, like, solid, bro. Like, solid. Like, I don't think if you look the way you look right now, there's no way you're getting picked on.
No, I don't get picked on anymore. It's funny. I've got resting angry face too. You
so do.
That keeps people away.
You have the face where like people look at you like, okay, he's done something. We're just gonna stay on this side of the room. You know, it's funny, man. You say Glee Club. Last night I went to a Writers Guild kind of get together thingy that I'm just networking, right? I'm trying to sell these scripts. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
And you're in that world as well, trying to do the same thing. Right. But the writers and creators of Glee, they were there, and it was really cool.
Nice, man.
Yeah, really cool to hear that one of the writers, the original writer of the show, comes from that background, and that's why that kind of inspired him writing that concept. That he was a theater guy, and realizing how hard it was to be taken serious in theater. And he just kind of wrote his own thing. And by chance, being in the right place at the right time, you know, as much as I do, as much as this is talent, this is also being in the right place at the right time. You know,
it is.
And that's the weirdest thing, right? And so this dude's at the gym. Someone tells him who the other guy is, the guy who helped create the show. Boom, they work, they read the script, game on. Boom, there you go. Glee, done.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's cool. I'll buy it in the room.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, the thing with all that is I always wanted to create. I don't know if you know, but like I'm an artist as well. Like
yeah,
I do getting into VFX and digital sculpting and all these types of stuff. But I've been tattooing for like 15 years. I'm a tattoo artist, so
do you have your work online?
Do you even have any space yet?
I do. Oh. I do. My legs are free. I was actually going to start those up this year, and I have some spots on my side and my chest. Small spots.
You probably got a guy though, yeah.
I have several guys, right? Like I have several guys that I love, but it doesn't matter, man. Like we got the time, and you want to do the work. Let's go. I'll sit and let you go.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
And I'm the type of dude that's like, you're free to run, man. Don't put no fucking dicks or fucking, you know, don't put a dick on me, bro. But, you know, that's pretty much the limit. You can put a lot of other stuff. I don't want like naked boobies, right? I think I have one of those. But so you're free to run, bro.
I won't put any dicks on yet, bro.
Well, I don't know, man. I know you're kind.
I am Navy. I know we got that type of reputation and shit going on, but I promise I will not put any dicks on you.
That's good.
But it's funny you say that. Like in the teams, like if you leave your shit laying around, there's going to be a dick on it. Somebody's gonna
bro.
draw
Yeah.
on it. You know?
I think one of my first PLs, his first deployment, we put a bunch of gay porn all over in his desk, in his books, everywhere. Like, I mean, I think he found it for years. You know what I mean?
We'd sneak a black dildo into like people's bags as they're getting ready to get on planes.
Yeah, just as yeah, bro. Just as you're going through fucking customs, they say dump your bag, and you're like, oh damn.
That's funny, man.
Well, dude.
Yeah, man. So
go ahead.
Going back to the story and the background of everything, it's I was always so my dad being in the teams, my mom, we didn't have a lot of money, you know. I grew up I was born in Akron, Ohio, grew up in between, you know, Bath, Ohio, which is a little farm town outside of Akron, and in Virginia Beach, where, you know, they have all the teams and everything. So went to school in Virginia Beach and spent my summers in Ohio. And, you know, everybody's trying to make ends meet, and I spent a lot of time alone. So the only thing I really ever had was creativity. So I got into art. I draw a lot. Never really did well in school except for art and music and these types of things, right? So what I did was I did that all the way through junior high and high school. And when I graduated high school in '89, I went straight into the military and went into EOD, bomb squad. Stayed there for about 9 years, became a senior tech, and went into the SEAL teams, class 224, and went to SEAL Team 8 after that, and you know, did a couple tours of Iraq, and then was medically discharged in 2012 due to injuries sustained in Iraq when a IED low ordered on my vehicle. It was actually in 2005, I think, 2005, and caused, they say it broke my neck or whatever, but I think it was a amalgamation of a lot of different things that happened. But 2012, in 2009, I started having neurological symptoms showing up, and vestibular damage, ulnar nerve damage, fracture of the C5, C6.
Jesus.
And they went in and did neurosurgery in 2009. Subsequently put me on a whole bunch of pills that didn't work out so well for me, and started having a pharmaceutically induced cardiac arrest. And
holy smokes.
When that happened, I revolted against that system. And during that process, I was at Trade Ed on the West Coast. I was primarily an East Coast guy, SEAL teammates over on the East Coast, and that's where I spent the majority of my time in the teams and service. And I came over to the Buds, and I was in a pretty dark space. I had everything was falling apart pretty hard. There's a lot of, you know, the woe is me stuff going on, but I had to take emergency custody of my son. I was, you know, my house was destroyed, all while I was a platoon chief, and they were going to put my son in a home, you know, if I deployed again.
Oh my gosh, you're getting hit from every angle.
Yeah, it was rough, but so went to the West Coast and started sorting stuff out there, and I had a mentor out there that really looked after me, let me kind of sheltered me away from big Navy, wanting me to go out to Balboa, talk about my shit every fucking twice a week so that they could punch their lieutenant ticket to get their fucking paper done, you know. And, you know, I got sick of that shit. And I was like, I'm not fucking going anymore. I'm not taking their pills anymore. So I got off all the psychiatry. I was on 13 different medications, bro.
I was going to say, like, how did you know it was time to get off that? Like, because
I was fucking sitting there dying.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
That's what it took. It was like, but I didn't. And here's the thing, man, it was I was laying there and these bud students come up to me and they're, holy shit, chief, what the fuck you want us to do? You're turning gray. And fucking, I was like, I was relieved, bro. I was like, nothing, man. Don't fucking just let it happen. I'm cool.
Let it happen.
This is good. Let's just let it go. I was fucking relieved. I felt more peace than I'd felt in a few years in that moment. And then when it didn't happen, I was fucking mad, dude. Like fury is the only word that I could think to describe it. And I was like, okay, shit's changing. I'm not gonna, dude. I was in metabolic syndrome. My fucking adrenal
Holy
system was so fucked up. I was up to 290 pounds, bro.
jeez
And
almighty.
I'd eat a piece of bread and I'd fucking blow up. Like I was working out and I was like eating it properly, and it was crazy, dude. And so I revolted against that system, and I had a fantastic Master Chief E9 type guy, and came over from um, uh, East Coast and took over a trade at, and he kind of sheltered me away from the wolves that didn't know who I was. You got to put
We-
things in perspective, dude.
Yeah,
I came from
real
the
quick.
East Coast. I came from the East Coast, and like off of great tours, I had uh, anybody that worked with me as an operator had great reputation. 2 BVs, and and uh, and a great run over there. Um,
Yeah,
and but when I came over to the West Coast, nobody knows me. You know how that shit goes.
yeah.
You go to a different family, and they're like, "Who's this guy just fucking sitting here getting fat?" You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it'd
it's
be
like,
hard,
bro,
man.
and I'm not the guy like sitting there going, "Motherfucker." So what I did is I just go down. I went in down into the. I made a deal with the Master Chief. I was like, "Hey, can I just go down here and teach dudes how to box?" Jocko was my skipper at the time too.
Nice.
And he was a part of this. He's like, just sit down there, fucking just teach dudes how to fucking box twice a day, grapple, do all that shit, and you're good. Do the rest of the shit on your own. Just get right. I was like, fucking sweet. I can do that. And that's
That's
what I did.
badass.
So I'd teach dudes how to box because I boxed for the Navy for a while and, coached some guys over at Team 8 and shit like that. And so I'm down there and doing my thing. And this happened. And then the neuro symptoms hit. It was like I had these neurological symptoms. I couldn't lift my arm without using my back, and then like lost all my grip strength on the right side. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're fucking looks
Damn.
like you broke your neck here. Any idea what happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have an idea."
Yeah.
But you know the deal, man. Like you get in. It was like a couple weeks after we got in the fight, and like this shit happened. This IED low ordered, and it was like you don't want to say anything. Like you don't want to be like, dude, it's like somebody's fucking drilling into my fucking teeth. And you go up to the corpsman and you're like, hey, dude, you got anything? Are we going out tonight? Okay, give me some shit so I don't fucking like, and that's how you get through it. And eventually the shit starts going away.
Yeah.
Um, but what I did was I started to do things that made me feel better, right? And during this process, here's the big one that hit. So as I'm going through all this shit, like the custody of my son, transitioning from the east to the west coast, so he's not getting put into a home, house being destroyed, and no insurance wants to pay. Fucking got to get over to the
Damn.
west coast. My fucking swim buddy gets killed in Iraq.
Oh my goodness.
Mike Koch and my buddy, my buddy Nate Hardy. Every time I fucking talk about it, man. Like, so Mike Koch, I don't know if you know what a swim buddy is, but in Buds,
I could assume similar to
yeah.
our ranger buddy, right?
It's like a shooting buddy,
Yeah.
your shooting buddy that like you do everything together. Like that's who, like you can't be 6 feet away from the guy. And so he was the first person in my life ever that put his dreams secondary to mine, Mike Koch. Like he put himself in a position that had he gotten compromised in that position, it would have been fucking horrible for his future. But that didn't happen. But he did put himself in that position. It was one of those, if you don't make it, we're not making it type guys.
Yeah.
Which was such an example for me. And I'll never, it was the most profound thing. And it's one of the main things. He's one of the main things that drive me to do what I do on a daily basis. So that's where that was the beginning of that whole revelation of uh, the name change is for
Yeah.
spiritual reasons. So what I kept doing is I kept progressing, and so I started out to fix myself. I started to do myofascial release or rolfing. Are you familiar with what that is?
Is that something to do with a lot of the rolling and stuff?
It's it's like torture, but they don't ask you any questions. So so they're like using their elbows and
Yeah.
blade of their forearms to anchor what's called the fascia, which is the sheath that the muscle slides in. But through repetitive motion or injury, what can happen is scar tissue can build up between the muscle and the fascia, and it locks that fascia in place, and the muscle can't flex all the way. So what they do is they anchor the fascia and make you flex the muscle so that it rips the scar tissue. Right?
Mm.
So so it starts flowing again. Very painful, very effective. So I started with that. From there, I went to
Wait, let me
acupuncture.
ask you a question real quick. What made you? I mean, it sounds like you're just torturing yourself. I mean, I'm sure part of it is that, right? Like just
I like the pain. That's
yeah, self-induced. But how is that going to be therapy for you?
So for me, it's always been trial by fire stuff ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
All the way from the bullying to growing into EOD and then to into the SEAL teams. I mean, shit. Our whole training is about trial by fire, right?
Right.
So, let's grill this chicken and see what comes out the other side. 6 months later, it's going to be a hard fucking piece of chicken, you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's a great analogy.
It's your analogy, so it's good, bro. It's good.
So, um, so yeah, like I've always been attracted to stuff that like challenges that makes me like want to stop doing it. Like
Yeah.
anything that makes me want to stop doing it, I'm attracted to because what that does is it sharpens me harder and harder, right?
Yeah.
Is I guess the philosophy behind it, the subconscious philosophy behind it. But so I from the Rolfing, I went into acupuncture, which has countless documented therapeutic um, benefits and efficacy proven.
Mhm.
And from there, from the acupuncture, I found out about meditation and yoga. And I started out with Bikram's yoga, and I walk in there, and there's this little 5 foot woman in there. I'm like, okay, what the hell did I get myself in? I'm going in with an open mind. Okay, I'm going to check this out. And she starts out, and I don't know if you know what Bikram's yoga is, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hot
It's like
yoga.
really hot as fuck. Yeah.
It's hot as fuck. And so she's like, okay, we know it's your first time, Mikal, and and your whole goal is to just not leave the room. I was like, this sounds like my kind of shit.
So this is a challenge. Okay. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
challenge,
We're good.
Okay, now I'm good. All right, cool. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to be a problem. About 15 minutes in, it was like, this is going to be a problem. Oh man, that woman kicked my ass. I was just a puddle on the floor, looking sloppy as hell. There's all these gorgeous women walking by, like leaving the room, and I'm just like, I don't care, dude. I'm just like a train wreck in the corner, just going, Ugh.
You know
Oh
what it
my
reminds me
god.
of? You know what that
What's that?
reminds me of is I go do sweat lodges. And
Uh,
bro, the best thing about that is no one could see the look on my fucking face when I'm about to cry. You know what I'm saying? It's dark as fuck in that room, so I can look emotional as fucking broken, and no one sees it because it's bad in there.
it's funny.
I'm gonna have to
Dude,
take you one
yes,
of these days.
like
I'm gonna have to
that.
take you.
I would absolutely love that, obviously.
Yeah.
So from there, it was like I started to get pretty good at it, right? And it was good for my body, but there was still this missing thing. There's internal thing that I was just not getting that I needed, like something to fill the space, because
Yeah.
I didn't have control of what was going on inside. So I started studying more, and I found out about this meditation. I started with meditation, and then went in deep into meditation, and I found out about this thing called Kundalini energy, and it's like the source of creative energy. And I'm like, fuck, man, that sounds pretty cool, you know. And so, this is about now what's going on at the same time as I'm progressing this. I have this budding acting career thing happening, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I had completely forgotten because of everything that had been going on. I literally, man, I had completely forgotten about my desires as a kid to be an actor and
Yeah.
perform and like
What you
everything I
loved.
did.
You
I
forgot what you
loved.
loved.
I forgot.
Bro,
You know,
you're spending your time overseas. You're providing a service to the country, and everything takes a backseat at that point, even family, because that's what we do.
yeah.
So it's easy to forget who the fuck you are. That's why a lot of these guys get out of the military and transition troubles, because they're like, all right, who the fuck am I again? Oh yeah, I'm not just a military guy, right? I'm something else.
Well, some people don't ever remember that.
They
Like
don't.
they get stuck. They identify, and I totally get it, man, because I was there, but I was fortunate enough to have. There's a guy named Harry Humphreys that works in the industry, and fantastic person, such a renaissance man. He's an engineer. He's a Silver Star winner in Vietnam. Like team guy, and he got me on to Transformers 3 as a special ability extra in the background,
Yeah.
Coke can in the background. And I was like, he's like, you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, fuck, sure, man. That sounds cool. Yeah. But I still didn't make the connection to like that, having that desire. And then fucking Michael Bay comes across, and you got to remember, man, I was bald at the time. I have this huge fucking butcher mustache, and I'm 248 pounds, bro. And
Monster, scary looking dude.
yeah, fucking Michael Bay comes by and he looks at me, does a double take, and he's like, "Holy fuck, what do they call you?" And I was like, "Booch," and he's like, "Fuck, that's perfect."
What do they call you?
He's like, "Do you want to be an actor?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "All right, come here. Wait a minute. Can you act?" And I'm like, "Well, you're the director. Don't you have to be the judge of that?" And he's like, "Right, fair enough. Okay, come here, do this." And I did it, and I was fucking, dude. I'm standing there. I'm standing there, and then and like first day ever on a set, bro. And they're wiring me up, and then like it's getting close. They're getting ready to call action, and everybody's like looking at me, man. And then everything came rushing back in, dude. I remembered right there. Fucking my visual perspective went to like I was looking through a straw, and then like my heart starts slamming, and I'm like, holy fuck. And I was nervous as shit. Like I was like, what the fuck? Started sweating my ass off. And he's like, action. And it was this scene. I don't know if you've seen Transformers 3, but there's this skyscraper that's falling down and shit. And like, there's a big bald dude that sticks his head out the fucking door and goes, they're shooting at the fucking building, and that was me. And I looked nervous as shit because I was nervous as shit. And Michael Bay was like, holy fuck, dude, that was awesome. Here, come do this, come do this. And he made me a fucking principal in the fucking film, man. And then
That's
he put me in
fucking awesome.
Transformers 4. These guys, Harry and Michael Bay, put me in Transformers 4 and Ninja Turtles. And Harry came up one time. He's like, hey, man, I don't say this much. He's like, he goes, I don't say this at all, really. I try to steer guys away from it, but I think you should pursue this acting. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And so
Yeah.
I started pursuing that, not earnestly because I was still in the military at the time. This was 2010, 2011, and get out to 2012. And so I'm very much still in the process of trying to figure shit out.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, you weren't out the military yet. You're still working on getting chaptered out?
Yeah. It was, I was, yeah, I was still in that process. So
Wow.
there was a lot of paperwork to be done and stuff like that. So, um, but like I ran through the command, they were cool. They knew I was trying to build something, and so in between getting better and that, and like continually like working on meditation and stuff like that, and I go back to the Kundalini thing. I had this experience, and it was this stuff's real, man. Like you read about it in books, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, or any of these types of books, or that are talking about these spiritual experiences. I mean, those guys are writing from an experience that they had,
Yeah.
and it's real, man. Like I've had these experiences, and
And you're talking like just getting deep into meditation, right? Like getting so far into meditation, you're really starting to, I guess, step outside of yourself.
yes, yes, absolutely, stepping outside myself. You hear people tell you shit, like people visit you, like
No, you fucking
yes,
kidding me, bro?
no, man, I'm
I
fucking not kidding you. This
I
shit
gotta
is
I gotta
fucking
fucking
real.
I gotta get to that, dude.
Dude,
Because here's the thing,
fucking
bro.
real.
I hear about it, and we've talked about it before on the whole bus ride. The whole bus ride through. And I'm like, man, I gotta fucking find some time to one allow my mind to fucking accept that concept, right? Like to fucking meditate on anything longer than fucking 2 seconds because I'm a fucking ADD fool.
Yep.
So I need that for my own self healing, right? For my own shit, just to find some kind of relaxation in myself. And so it's like I get so interested in hearing when you talk about it. And then when you start saying shit like that, I'm like, what the fuck? There's a whole different level of existence that I don't know, that I'm curious about. You there? Did I lose you? I might have lost him. Man, yeah, you guys right now are listening. Mikal has served many years as a SEAL, and then now he's jumped into acting. And where we originally met, we've kind of connected through friends. And friends have hit me up and said that, hey, there's a guy you should talk to. And then boom, by chance, we connected, but then we never got to meet. And then all of a sudden, you there, bud?
Yeah, I am. I don't know, some reason the mic.
Don't worry about it, dude. Real quick, I'm gonna just refresh everyone. And we talked, and then all of a sudden, boom! I see him right there at a table read for the Mayans MC, and now we reconnected. And just cool to hear the transition and all the steps it's taken to still try and find that inner peace, but not even that. Just like I guess that road to enlightenment that you're on, your journey, and it's beautiful to watch and knowing that you're a guy who this alpha fucking special operations guy is now doing acting and same as me. And so we're now in the similar path. And, I'm always curious about, the routes other people travel. And here you are, dude, doing it.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
It's this Kundalini thing. I think here's the thing. So I found out about the Kundalini energy, which is the creative force. And I had these experiences, and bro, like, in these experiences, it was very clear. You could even call them visions, but I was visited, and this sounds, I know how this fucking sounds to somebody that I know how this sounds, but I'm like telling you, man, like, I know how it sounds, but it's fucking real, man. It's real, and it happened, and I'll be trying to get other people to have these types of experiences the rest of the time I'm on this planet, so but it was very clear that I was to change my name, and I changed my name. Mikal is a contraction of my swim buddy's first and last name, Michael Koch, Mika.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So Vega is when declination shifts. I mean, it was the start of three wise men followed to Christ.
Nice.
And it will become the North Star again when declination shifts in 50,000 years.
That's great.
My middle name's Aurora. It's which means light, and it's in between the two names signifying inner light. So now I got a lot of shit to live up to, right?
No, well, bro, it's only that's your thing to live up to for yourself, right? That's
yeah, the highest attainment possible. And so what I found was a technology of meditation that one appeals to the men and women like you and I that have the mindset of, I got to be forced into this. Like I've got to do in quiet, and like I have to be actively doing, right? So the reason why Kundalini's such a powerful form of meditation for me is, one, it's challenging as fuck. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, bro.
Yeah.
It's extremely physical. And it's Spartan as fuck, bro. It's like you're doing heavy breath holds, heavy postures while you're doing breath holds and flexing your muscles. And like it's all about building central nervous system strength, aligning new neural pathways for focus. And through that process of making yourself get in there and getting after it, that discipline that you develop is what develops the human caliber that expands your presence and enables the practitioner to have a magnetism that can shift people just by being around them.
What the fuck?
You really fucking do it. If you really sit down and do it, then it will move you quick. And there's a lot of different things that work. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that works. It's just that this is the fastest technology out there. And a lot of the other yogas come from Kundalini yoga. It was originally reserved for royalty. And it's called a Raj yoga or royal yoga. And they keep it hidden away because it's so effective and it was reserved for royalty. And in 69, Yogi Bhajan's like, fuck that. I'm bringing it to America, much like Bruce Lee and Wing Chun, right? So,
Yeah.
so Yogi Bhajan brought it to America and started teaching it in 69. And my teacher was with him from the giddy up, you know, and is still teaching it today.
Let me ask
Basically,
you-
Dan Inosanto.
Let me ask you this: like, it's called Kundalini. Can you spell that?
Kundalini, I think. It's easier when I write it down.
Yeah, for those that are listening that are curious about it, you know, I'm sure they're going to want to look that up. And at the same time,
idolwarrior.org.
Idol Warrior, go to idolwarrior.org. That's going to explain it for you, especially all you guys, you know, law enforcement, military. Check that out either way. But those guys that are curious about it, go check that out, and Mikal will definitely explain it to you. But what is, like, if I showed up today to you, to Vital Warrior, and I said, hey, I want to try this. What is I guess, I don't know, one session look like? Like,
okay, so what a session will look like is you come in wearing PT gear, whatever you want to be wearing, and you know, you get a mat, sit down, and we start hammering it out. So one of the things that I'm actively engaging in now is these, they're called Kundalini push-ups, right?
nice.
But you've already been doing them, bro. They're called dive bombers.
Oh, nice.
So I was pleasantly surprised to learn that a lot of our calisthenics come from this. Kundalini yoga has been around for like 5,000 years, you know, and a lot of our exercise, like you're doing jumping jacks, you're doing windmills, you're doing all that stuff in Kundalini yoga. You know what I'm saying? Except you're putting a certain breathing pattern to it and projecting with a certain intention that we don't use in the military. And we're highly effective just by doing those. You know what I mean? Imagine if you put the mantra and the breath work to it, you're going to become, you know, even that more effective.
Crazy.
So you come in, do a lot of warm up, like some warm up postures and stuff like this, and then we start getting after it. And you could wind up being, you know, either doing the Kundalini push-ups, or you could be doing stuff where you're holding your arms up at a certain angle while you're doing rapid breath patterns, while you're maintaining your focus on a mantra or it's a sound that's being played. You're focusing on that sound while you're holding this challenging posture. And then you can wind up doing like a 31-minute meditation followed by some gong work, which mimics the vibrational sound of the cosmos. If you've heard
Jeez almighty.
Badass, bro.
It's so far out of my element, though, bro. It's so different. It's exciting to hear, and it's something I'm fucking definitely curious of.
Here's the thing. Check it out. You don't have to do it in public if you don't want to, because through Vital Warrior, we offer it free for veterans and active duty military online for online streaming. So you could do it in your own hotel room right now.
No shit.
Yeah. All they got to do is reach out info@vitalwarrior.org and send a request with a copy of their DD-214 or proof of service.
Yeah.
And we'll get them all set up. And then you get free access to that, which is available anywhere, right? Through our affiliate Rama. And then you have access to the yoga in the studios. There's 2 studios, East and West Side Los Angeles. There's a studio in New York and there's a studio in Mallorca, and veterans and active duty have access to all of those.
I want to get one
And
open. You got to help me out get one open in Utah.
okay, I don't think that's going to be an issue.
That'd be good because I got a lot of veterans out there. I believe they need something like this too. I got my hero sports. We do sports, but these guys need to get guys healthy so they can play sports. You know what I
Here's
mean?
the thing, man. One of the biggest things we're doing with Vital Warrior right now is trying to open up a facility that not only has the Kundalini Yoga, which is one of the foundational modalities that we offer, but we want to have jujitsu with it. Like one of the biggest things I want to do is remarry that martial with the spiritual.
Mm.
So let me delve into that real quick. One of the biggest philosophies that we have, and I think that one of the biggest reasons that we have the issues that we're having right now is because we go downrange in modern day mindset. The the concept here is that we go downrange. We prepare to go downrange by cultivating all this destructive force, right?
Yeah.
We're constantly working on being more effective and deadly on the battlefield, which we are very much so, and we do that to great effect. However, when we get done, all that creative force that we've learned how to generate, there's no enemy anymore to unleash it upon. So we create one within ourselves, and all that destructive energy turns inward, and we start eating ourselves alive.
I love that. I didn't even think about that. I love that.
Well, here's the thing. The irony of it is in these warfighter mindsets, we like to compare ourselves to all these warrior societies that inherently knew the importance of embracing creativity and spirituality to offset the destructive forces of war. Right?
Yeah.
So as we engage in this, so you got the Spartans that were always, praying to the gods, the Vikings, the American Indians, inherently connected to spirit in everything they did, not just something they did on Sundays. And so what we've got today is this lack of understanding that the warrior's path, the warrior, draws from creative and destructive equally. They walk the razor's edge along those two realms, and they draw power from both. And it doesn't make them twice as powerful. It makes them infinitely more powerful on and off the battlefield. Now, some people can do that inherently. They don't need all the other stuff. However, some people get stuck.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that we created Vital Warrior for.
Great.
So, I mean, initially. Now it's kind of expanded into, well, actually, you don't have to be stuck to still benefit from this stuff.
Yeah.
And you can still, we had this big creativity push. As you know, we just released an album that's free for active duty military, first responders, and veterans that we created through Vital Warrior to bring some warrior type sound that can be played while they are going through and either creating, working out,
dude,
trying to chill at night, man.
It's great because that's I've listened. Sometimes I write to different soundtracks, right? Like I've listened to the, fucking the Gladiator soundtrack, fucking Last Mohican soundtrack, fucking all these different soundtracks I listen to, and then I got your songs. I downloaded your music when you sent me, bro. They're tough. They remind me of the Gladiator soundtrack. I mean, they're just as powerful, and it makes you feel like it's on, right? And so that's what I did. I love that. That's why I was telling you, dude, we got to talk about it on the podcast. I want to give you more attention for that because it really is some good music. And if these guys are going to be jumping into the self meditation and stuff like that, if they want a resource, that's a good resource to get some good mantra style music.
Yeah, man. And it is free for them. Again, reach out to info@vitalwarrior.org and we'll get you a download code and you'll be right as rain. So another great thing, Vince, is with the Kundalini Yoga, I'm not expecting everybody to do what it is I do.
Right.
I waking up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, taking a cold shower, sitting down and doing fucking hour and a half of this shit. It's not shit, but doing an hour and a half of the practice, and then they call it sadhana, and then moving on. throughout the day. And I scale from that depending on what's going on, right?
And you do
So-
that every day.
I scale from it. Yes, that's the goal. The
Yeah.
goal is to, at a minimum, you have a minimum that you do, right? So if we've got a 4:00 call, I'm not waking up at 2:00 when I've gone to bed at 11, and you know what I'm saying? So I scale it, and I'll get it in where I can. Maybe I'll do it after work or something like that, but I get it in every day. I sit down and do it consecutively. And you can scale the times. You can always do less or whatever. But for somebody just starting out, man, I just want them to like dedicate themselves to like 11 minutes a day. That's it.
Yeah.
11 minutes. Just that. If you can, and I guarantee you, I've yet to meet somebody meet that challenge. I've yet to meet somebody that meets that challenge. You know what happens? They come in, they do the thing, and they're like, holy shit, this stuff's amazing. Oh my God. This has happened. This has happened. This has happened. This has changed. And then what do you think they do? They stop. And then it goes back. And it goes back. It's just like going to the gym, man. You like start working out and you start seeing the changes and you're like, holy shit, I look kind of good, man. I'm like fucking feeling strong, feel good. And then they stop. And then
Yeah.
their gains go away and they're like, I don't know what happened. I was doing so good. And it's okay. Sit down and start doing it again. Guess what? You're going to have that same type of effect. 100%. So
That's how it is, though. That's how it
it
is.
doesn't matter. And it does. A lot of people associate this stuff with religion and all this
Yeah.
other stuff. This is all based on science. This whole
And that's what I'm learning, right? Like the whole spiritual thing is not, it's not a knock on, it's not trying to step on anyone's faith. And at first that's kind of was like my fear, like, man, you know, is that, it's kind of an uncomfortable subject to mess with. Like when I go sweat lodge, I do it with Richard, right? Cabral.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he's spiritual and he's telling me just, he's like, pray to the gods, you know, it's your time for prayer for gods. I'm like, well, what God? He goes, whoever your God is, you know, it's on you. And I was like, oh shit, that's cool. I never thought of that concept, you know? So, and that's really what it is. Like this whole spiritual journey is, man, as an actor.
A new concept on that? Just a real quick
Yeah,
concept
please.
on that that's sticking out. What if you're not praying to anything? What if you're already a part of that God? Like, what if there's no separation between? See, a lot of times, along my journey along the way, you know, I started out. I was, you know, my grandmother was a Baptist, so we'd go to church and we'd pray to God, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not praying as God. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we want to dissolve and that's the illusion of duality. And I'm getting deep in the peanut butter right now, I realize, but the illusion of duality is that there's a separation of us, the self, the mind, and God, body, mind, and spirit from God. When in actuality, when we can get to a state of overwhelm of understanding, we can sit and we can actually develop landmarks that will take us to a place to where we dissolve the self and we just are one with God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not a praying to type of thing. It's a vibrating type of projection. So anyway, sorry.
No, it's good. That's cool. I mean, dude, I'm always up for some new information. But
yeah, it's a powerful, as you can tell, I'm passionate about it. It works,
which
man.
is good. No, dude, this thing is like to know where you were, to know where you came from and where you are now. I think people listening need to, there's options, man. That's the fucking thing. Like people that listen, like all the followers that listen, all three of them, but they're they're listening to get information. Like whoever the fuck I have on, what do they have to say, and how is it pertinent to their life, and how can they help their own life, right? Because a lot of the people I bring in have cool stories, and whether it's in acting, whether it's in business, whether it's just in life, and they tell their part, right? And this is your opportunity right now. You're telling your part, and so there's going to be guys out there that are going to be like, "What the fuck is this? And this is something new. Let me check it out." And that's good for them. That's what I want. I want people like you. Look, man, you have a resume, if you will. Like you have experiences and you line up with the majority of my demographic, you know, and that makes sense, right? For them to hear, here's another dude that is well respected, and meaning as in experience wise, but like what you've done, and like you can't discredit what you've fucking done. You've done it.
Yeah.
So anyone that's done that and beneath or less than or not as active or not as experienced, fuck, they could all learn from the guy like you, right? You were definitely a pinnacle member in the community that's doing things. And so why wouldn't they try and follow in those footsteps and see if it works for them as well? That's kind of how I feel. Like I tell people, here's what I've been doing, here's what I've done. Follow me if you want. Try it. If it works for you, fuck yeah. If it doesn't, no big deal. There's other fucking systems, right? There's no
shit. Yeah.
right. There's no
For sure.
one road to fucking to figure it out. There's a
Nope.
fucking million of them. And so just
True.
you telling your road is important for my listeners because fuck, that's a different road, bro. I've never had anyone on here to talk like this. You know what I mean? And so I think it's important.
Yeah, it is. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, this stuff augments anything else you're doing. It's a great addendum to whatever it is you're doing right now. If you're a Catholic, if you're a Buddhist, if you're a Muslim, whatever, it will make all of that better.
Yeah.
It will make all of that deeper. It will make your performance deeper. It will make your relationships deeper. It makes your life more rich because what you're doing is it's a martial art against yourself is what it is. That's the best way I can put it. You're doing a martial art against yourself and your own neuroses and your own bullshit. It's called the yoga of awareness. So if you're being an asshole, it lets you know you're being an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. And I got to tell you, it's the best fucking acting class on the face of the fucking planet.
Why is that? That's interesting. Why is that?
Because it's putting into practicality everything that every acting class I've gone to is trying to get you to get to through technique. And what I mean by that is this, is you use technique to sculpt and shape and cut out your own fucking bullshit and be more into the character, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, and to portray this story in a suspension of disbelief, right? Well, with Kundalini Yoga, for me, the biggest thing with acting is sitting in the back seat in my head and watching my performance. I fucking hate it when I'm doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, God damn it. You know, because you got that voice in the back of your head that's sitting there going, oh, God, you're not going to say it like that, are you?
Yeah, the insecurities take over.
Oh, my shit. Oh, fucking God. Well, this allows you to get into a creative flow that is directly connected to the source of creativity. That's what it is. It helps you ascertain and become a creative flow in whatever it is you're doing, not necessarily acting or whatever, drawing or painting, or put the fucking mantras on, put the Vital Warrior album on and start doing your creative outlet, whatever that is, and see what happens. See what type of flow you get into. A transport vehicle is what it is. So
Love it.
You develop this discipline of being in a space of connected to that creative flow to where you're dissolving. Like that's what you're doing every day. You're practicing on being present in the moment where you're at right now, not the future, not the past, not judging, not listening to the other voices. You gain control of the subconscious mind so that you can deliver a performance that is completely authentic and surprising and connected and people and magnetic. And that once I started doing that, that's when I started, bro, that's when everything started happening.
Fucking A. Well, dude, I just looked right now on iTunes. Am I correct if I put Vital Warrior? Those are you guys, right? You have the song Moon Mantra
triad right there.
Yep, that's you, right?
Yep.
So you guys that are listening,
ocean and stuff.
Yep, yeah, perfect. And with a little light behind it, that's good. So you guys that are listening, if you guys are on iTunes, with a lot of you guys listen on my podcast on the iTunes app, go check out the music and you can find Vital Warrior and download that album and listen to it, man. It's fucking rad. It's tough. It's gritty. I think it's just a really cool mantras. And I'm going to start actually writing to this because I was going to sit down and write for the next couple of hours anyways. And fucking awesome, dude. Mikal, dude.
I can't wait to hear the feedback on how that writing session goes because I guarantee you it's going to be
powerful. There's
going to be some good stuff coming up. Some good stuff coming up.
Well, dude, we're going to wrap this up, man. I want to please tell the listeners where they can find you and where to go find all your stuff.
I am on primarily Instagram at Mikal Vega or at @vital_warrior. Either one of those you can reach me at on Instagram, and info@vitalwarrior.org is our nonprofit. We're a registered 501c3. And we're looking for donations because this album, we had a lot of donors donate specifically to create this album. We got it out. It's submitted for a Grammy right now, for a
Wow.
Grammy nomination. We'll find out this month if we're nominated or not. Who knows? Hopefully so. If you know people, spread the word, help us out, because 100% of the proceeds of the album go straight back into the nonprofit so we can offer more products and services to the men and women that we're serving. We're offering the yoga, the chiropractic here in Los Angeles, free chiropractic care, which is covered.
Damn.
Yeah, man. We're working on acupuncture right now and a jiu-jitsu program where those are in development. There's a lot of fantastic stuff happening, and we're trying to raise enough money so we can offer it all under one roof here in Los Angeles, so that we can start the next phase of the creativity endeavor that we're engaged in now, with the album being the first of that, so that we can help develop creative product using the veterans community and offering them opportunities in production and these types of things, much like what you have going on, just on and we got to talk about that. That's a whole nother thing, but much
Just
like
trying,
you have
bro.
going on.
Just trying, just trying to make a dent in the space in some way and helping in any way, shape, or form. Like we said, there's so many different routes to figuring themselves out. And if I could just provide one of those options and it makes sense to someone, then fucking so be it. But just like you, man, that's why I wanted to have you on here. We're out here trying to put a good influence on the community, give them a little bit more answers, stuff that's worked for us personally. I guess we are the guinea pigs of our own lives, and for those to hear that and see if it works for them, well, fucking, I hope it does. I hope they find a route and they take it, and hopefully this podcast can direct them towards that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on, Vince.
For sure.
And give me the platform, and giving the shouts out to raise awareness around what it is we're doing over here, because we need it.
Yep.
That's the only way we're going to be able to make any impact is when we work together to do it. So
I 100% agree, brother. All right, man. You have a good day, and let's talk. I want to hit you up on trying to get a session in before I leave. I got to try it.
For sure, let's do it.
All right, brother.
Knock it out of the park, bro.
All right, take care, bro.
All right, man. Out.
I did it.